Hey there, welcome to a new album review, and today I have something a little bit special because it's an artist that I really love called Jann, and today we're gonna review the full-length album. I already reviewed the EP, and today we have the I Stored My Fear and My Pain in the Nape of My Neck, which is the album, which very long name. Okay, very interesting name, but yeah, basically it's a short album, 7 songs, nothing too big, and one of those songs is like sort of an intro song, so it's not, like very big or anything like that. The first song, Floating, actually is sort of this church choir type song, that's how I could describe it, I guess, and well, it's, again, Jann's vocals are really good. Jann has sung opera before, so his vocals are really, really good. And I think this album is pretty much just building on the foundation that the EP already established, which is essentially, singing, and especially the production is definitely a step up, and primarily just the variety, I guess, in a lot of the songs here, because definitely you sort of have two types of songs. You have the more sad songs type ballads, and you have the more, I call them swag songs, because honestly when you hear them it just sounds like you're being raised, you know what I mean? Like, it just sounds like someone is like trying to seduce you or whatever, right? Because that's the thing, like, Jann has a really great voice, but it doesn't always like belt type thing. A lot of his songs are sort of these not whispery style. It's not like, Billie Eilish, but it's definitely these more toned down style, sort of on a lower registry, and it just sounds like he's trying to seduce you. Honestly, it just sounds way too like cool and way too smooth, and it does work quite a bit, right? So in this album, pretty much you have a couple of songs here. The songs that are more like, I guess, smooth, that are more like perhaps a little bit even upbeat and whatnot, is What You Want From Me and Kiss Kiss are the two songs that are more I guess on that sort of smooth, and then you have the latter, which is Insane Ballad. This was released as a single before the album came out, and it is just absolutely like typical Jann, typical like, you're gonna become really sad by listening to this song. Like, if you ever need songs to like hurt you emotionally, I think Jann is a very, very good artist for that, because like, these songs are very, because they're the slow piano focus type ballads, and then his voice is like really good because he can hit like really high notes and whatnot, so it's honestly so good. And then you have, essentially, alongside you also have Decision and Nostalgia, which are, I think, the best songs in the album, alongside the latter. I mean, the entire album is good, but Nostalgia and Decision are the songs that I'm mostly, like, I guess, quote-unquote, focused on or obsessed over. And then, lastly, you have Arachnophobia, which, yeah, I mean, it starts as this sort of, like, slow ballad, but then it sort of transforms into actual whispering. He actually whispers during this song, but it's sort of this song that slowly builds up, and it's way more focused on the composition of the song than necessarily on the singing, which is something I appreciate. Like, the composition of a lot of Jann's songs are very, I'm gonna call them simple, because they are kind of like, this sort of popish, sort of like, I mean, like art pop is, I guess, what I could describe. It's sort of like this, yeah, art pop is probably what I would describe Jann as, and it essentially like has a huge focus on the production, which isn't very complex, but it's very like catchy, and it's very interesting. It's definitely very interesting. Something that I've always appreciated about Jann is the production might be simple, but it sounds good. So like, you don't have to sort of like feel like, because I feel that especially with a lot of pop, sometimes some of the production can sound either too clean or just too weird, and with Jann a lot of the sounds can be a little bit more on like the unique side, and can definitely, especially because he combines it really well with his voice and what he wants to do. So even if he's not like singing like crazy or whatever, usually it tends to be pretty clean, and it tends to combine really well with whatever he's doing in the song. I mean, you can, like, the perfect example of that is Gladiator, where he sort of mixes all of these styles. He has a little bit of rapping, it has a, belting like crazy and whatnot, and just like more normal singing like usually does in the production of that entire song, and the composition of that entire song. Super clean song, super like catchy, and it just, it's essentially pretty much like quintessential Jann, in the sense of like every style that Jann usually does, it pretty much just comes from, or like it can be seen or heard rather in that song, right? And here is just sort of an expansion of a lot of those, right? But it always like just combines very well. It always, you always sort of hear very like synergetic sounds when it comes to his songs, right? Like they're always sort of a treat, but at the same time, like, I would say I think it's perhaps not as easy to get into if you're not like looking for something a little bit more interesting, I guess. I think that this is definitely one of those cases where it's not a pop artist in the sense of the songs are supposed to be like super sugary and super catchy and like earworms type thing. They're definitely not earworms. Again, they're definitely more like on that artsy type vibe more than specifically the pop vibe, right? It definitely is more on that regard, so a lot of his songs are definitely more towards that, and yeah, I mean, look, sure, songs like The Letter might not be easy to stomach, I guess, especially due to the nature of them being a little bit more sad or whatever, but I think that's usually where Jann shines, and I think that his best songs have been in that registry, and and again, even though the other songs are really nice, right? So yeah, I mean, I kind of I know that he released a couple of singles from this album before releasing the album, but yeah, even then, like, I mean, the best part about this is that it's a short album, and like it's what, maybe half an hour of an album, not even that. So yeah, I mean, it's very easy, I think, to give it a shot, but definitely, like, if I had to recommend anything, The Letter and Arachnophobia would probably be the songs that I would really recommend from this album, but again, like, the entire album isn't that big, so you can just easily listen to it if you want. In terms of my vibe meter, I don't know, it's strong. I like, obviously, I'm heavily biased. I mean, I'm always biased, that's the point of the vibe meter, is that it's based on my vibes at the moment, not so much like an objective score, but I am incredibly biased, and I just love the album, and I would have to give it a 10 out of 10 straight up. I don't think there's any other score that I could give it. I just love every single song, and man, he's a very unique artist, and it's an artist that honestly I don't play as much as I probably should in a way, but it's always an artist that I know that I'm always gonna enjoy whatever I'm gonna listen. So yeah, that's it, and I'll see you tomorrow with a new album review.